We are walking early in the morning. Good morning, everyone. It is about, I want to say 6:45. So this is another early morning walk. The sun is up on this one though. And it is, I'll tell you, it is, I don't want to say it's cold out, but it is chilly. Unseasonably cold for this time of year. I'll get into the weather. The weather in the Northeast since Wednesday, and this is a Sunday morning. This is the day before Memorial Day. But the weather since Wednesday has, I mean, it has felt more like Halloween weather, not Memorial Day. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I figured I'd do one of these little shorter walks, but it might turn out to be a normal length walk because I'll probably add on some steps. But we're going to do, the main little route we're going to do is 92nd Street in Bay Ridge. We are on the outskirts of Bay Ridge. You could still consider this Dyker Heights, but very north tier of Dyker Heights. This is 7th Avenue. I am walking alongside Poly Prep. I'll give you guys a look at the clock tower in a moment. We're going to walk up 92nd Street. 92nd Street is actually a short street. We'll get onto the bike path and I'll take you guys to the bridge, to the Verrazzano Bridge, which is also currently over my left shoulder. I'll give you guys a look at that too in a second, but here is the clock tower. Kind of reminds you of Back to the Future whenever I see this tower. I think of Back to the Future. Now back there is the bridge. You can kind of see it there. We're gonna actually walk there, so we could probably, if we had a straight line, we could probably walk there in like 10 minutes, but we have to walk around a different type of route to get there today. So. Anybody that's not familiar with this area, on my right side is the golf course. The westernmost border of the golf course. And then, like I said, on my left is the Poly Prep complex. And we're going to take 92nd Street up and look at some homes. There's actually two really nice homes I like to look at up there. One of them looks like a dollhouse. So if you saw the temperature, that was not an incorrect temperature in May. It is 50 degrees out. And this is definitely not the weekend you want to be going into the beach. Well, you go to beach, but you don't want to be going into the water. Unless you're like, into that 59 degree ocean temp. Which, by the way, 59 degree ocean temp will give you hypothermia. Although it is a far stretch for beach people, because if you're smart, you'll go into the water and get right out. That's how cold it is. It'll get you right out, but you can get hypothermia in 59 degree beach ocean water. 1 to 2 hours of exposure in water of that cold will definitely paralyze you. And it's probably the coldest water temp we've had on Memorial Day weekend. And I don't know. I'd have to really look up stats, I guess. But it has been a very cold week. We had a storm system that came in on Wednesday, and it just stalled here. And it didn't start getting out of here until late Friday. So it rains on pretty much Wednesday, Thursday, most of Friday. And what it did was it took on like a nor'easter kind of rotation as it got stuck, and it started pulling down all of this cold air from Nova Scotia. Thank you, Nova Scotia, if you're watching. And the temps have been more like late October, early November. It's crazy. At night, the temps have been getting into the high 40s. And during the day, we don't even get to 70. As a matter of fact, I think yesterday was the first day we got up to maybe 65, but Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we were in the 50s. This right here is the old Victory Memorial Hospital, which is now a Maimonides Center. Here is the emergency room entrance. It's still, if you remember the old Victory, layout, it's still the same. It's been renovated. But this is the hospital. But I was saying today it's supposed to only get up to 68, so still not even 70 degrees. I think we'll hit 70 though today. I think a lot of times the weather forecasts are a little they underestimate. Under promise, over deliver, that kind of mentality. Here comes some homes. And then tomorrow for Memorial Day, it's supposed to be 72. So not great swimming weather. It's probably the coldest Memorial Day weekend I can remember. I don't remember a Memorial Day weekend this cold. My landlord actually put the heat on Friday night and last night for a little while, which I thought was crazy. I don't think I've ever heard radiators hissing on Memorial Day weekend. It's just odd, really odd. But I will say this, it's great. I mean, it feels amazing. I mean, if you're into this like temperature, it feels absolutely amazing. Crisp, and the air feels clean and refreshing, and it doesn't slow you down, and it's great running weather, great walking weather. Speaking of running weather, this over here, we're getting to one of the marathon routes. This is where this is a big exit and entrance getting on and off of the bridge, the Verrazzano Bridge. This is where a lot of the runners during the marathon will exit here. And then they will turn here on 92nd and run up to 4th Avenue. They'll also run down 278, which is below us, and they'll come up over by 75th Street. So there goes the bridge. That's where we're going. We're going to end over there. You can see that the highway is pretty light. Like I said, it is just about to hit 7 a.m., so it is early. Now, this is normally a light you would not cross against the red, but there is very light traffic. So if you can get a good spot, you can get across without waiting for the light. You can see all those people over there are waiting to go to Staten Island. You got a lot of Staten Island buses that come over here. You got the 53, 79, take you to the mall. All right, we're crossing Fort Hamilton Parkway. Now, this is usually a very busy street here. So it's I didn't talk about the configuration. So if you notice, it's like a two-way, and then eventually it's going to become a one-way street. She is opening up the laundromat. I was saying, this is when we got on 92nd Street, it was more of a wide two-way street where it had the two lanes, and now it is narrowed to just two lanes, one going and one coming down. And eventually we're going to hit, well, as soon as we cross 4th Avenue, we're going to hit one-way street. And over here, 5th and 4th Avenue are pretty tightly close together. So it's going to be a quick 5th Avenue and then 4th Avenue. 5th Avenue ends down here. Got the school to my right here. You know what, let me get back across the street. I'm going to show you guys something here. So this right here on my left used to be the KFC. Turn the camera around in a second. So this used to be the KFC, the old KFC that closed down after COVID. They're going to tear it down, and apparently they're going to build a electric car charging port station. But from what I hear, the community is getting together and they don't want it. And the reason they don't want it is because the traffic is already very bad around here. People have gotten hit by cars over here. And you have that school. So people just don't want it. They don't want it. And the permit, from what I understand, the permit hasn't been submitted yet. But that is the plan. So I guess stay tuned for protests. That's what everybody does around here, is protests. Everybody protests. America is a protest nation. As a matter of fact, they have schools here where you can, you know, for other countries that, you know, don't protest that much because freedom of speech is not as big as the United States, you could come here and train on how to be a protester. I'm only joking, of course, but you know what? You never know. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they pay people to protest. I mean, they literally pick people up in buses and bus them around to go protest. I mean, you got actual professional protesters in this country that like to cause trouble and stuff. So, wouldn't be shocked if they had the school on how to do it. All right, so we've made it to the one-way street now. So we've gone from a double lane, two-way to just a one-way street now. And this will be a one-way street all the way to the end. And we will see nothing but residential homes for the rest of the way. As you can see, I'm the only person out on the street right now. I'm definitely not the only person awake right now in Brooklyn, though, that is for sure, because I could smell the coffee. It's funny, when you walk around like these streets in the morning, you can smell everyone's coffee. Like, it's crazy. It really is crazy. Let's cross over because we need to get over. So 92nd Street does not line up, as you can see. I'll stay in the street here, but yeah, it does not line up. So when we get up to 3rd Avenue, we have to, like that car just did, go left. And here are the pigeons of 92nd Street. These guys are they are a mainstay here on the corner of 92nd and 3rd. People just feed them every day, and they just hang out here all day eating. I guess they think I'm going to feed them. All right, here we go. 3rd Avenue. There's the bridge again. We keep seeing the bridge. It's like foreshadowing. That's where we're going. We could get there real quick if we just keep walking along 3rd right here. We'll be there in like about 8 minutes. Normally every year I do my Coney Island walk for Memorial Day weekend. I did not do it this year. Could do it tomorrow. It is Memorial Day. I have a choice. Do the Memorial Day parade right here on 3rd that we just walked. There's going to be a little parade here, but the reason I never record the parade, I'll tell you, I'll be honest. You know, I'm a very patriotic, I'm a veteran and everything, but every time I see the parade, sometimes it just seems very empty at times. I don't know. It's like, you know, it's not as popular of a parade than like the St. Patrick's that they do, or the Ragamuffin. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do it this year. But I think Coney Island would be a good walk tomorrow. It'll be much nicer. I mean, today is already starting out amazing. This is the best day so far. Not a cloud in the sky. Yesterday it was actually cloudy, sunny, cloudy. Then we had rain. Like, we had like passing showers. It was like sun showers. It was mostly cloudy for most of the day, and then the sun came out, and then the clouds came back in, and it rained. I always like the sunlight in the morning and at night. It's got that nice temperature to it. That's why they call it the golden hour. But we're starting to come out of the golden hour because the sunlight's starting to get just the bright white. That orange glow is going away now. We haven't seen a lot of people on the streets, but we will see people when we get on the bike path. There's always early birds on the bike path. You got this house with these big windows. Every time I walk by this house, look how big these windows are. Now that's what you call a bay window. But this is the block that has the very nice home. So I'm going to get in the street here because there's actually two nice homes here. Looks like they got designated parking set up here for some of the cars that are going to be in the Memorial Day parade. So you got this house right here. Is a very nice house. These two houses next to each other. Very nice. And then you have this house right here. This is the doll house. I call this the doll house. It's a very nice house. And then, of course, you got these little mini walk-ups, townhouse style. This block has a lot of different styles on it. It's got every style. Like, nice. This block right here between, I guess we're on, did we pass Ridge already? Yeah, so between Ridge and Colonial, it's got every style that you'll see in Brooklyn, mostly. So got this nice little, I don't know what it is. You can probably get married over here. This right here is Colonial and Marine Avenue. This is where Marine Avenue ends and Colonial Avenue begins. I took you guys down here, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. right, we are we're gonna hit Shore Road now, and we're gonna get on the bike path. Now this is the last street, the last section of 92nd. It starts out straight, but it'll then crook to the left and then leave us on Shore Road. Now, this block has a lot of the condo and co-op apartment units. It's going to be quite chilly when we get on that shore. Just to remind you, I was going to say if you didn't hear it earlier, but to remind you, the temperature is only 50 degrees right now. I'm actually breathing and there is steam coming out. Like it's crazy. Like I can't remember Memorial Day weekend being this cold. But like I said, it's a nice comfortable cold. It's not like, you know, if you got a nice light jacket on. I'm wearing my shorts. I just have a jacket on. There's my shadow, but I got a jacket on. Here guys, I'll wave. There you go. I'm waving. See, I'm waving. All right, let's get onto the bike path and we will walk over to the bridge. Got this big condo co-op complex, one of the bigger ones on Shore Road. All right, let's get down onto the bike path. We're going to take the 92nd Street overpass, which is right down here. We have made it to the shore. And here is the view, and we're going to walk over to the bridge. Very clear skies, very crisp air, so you could see all the way for miles. Visibility is what they would say the usual 10 plus statute miles. All right, now we're gonna walk. Well, we've been walking. It's really a dumb statement, right? We're going to walk on the bike path is what I wanted to say. I'm still waking up. It is high tide. That is sure. You can see the water coming right up to the top of these rocks. So it is high tide right now. They had to actually raise this about 20 years ago. I remember it used to look a little different down here on this part of the bike path. And because the water levels, you know, obviously keep rising. And back in the day, you couldn't walk down here on high tide. The water would go over it. It would go into the parkway. You could see now. You see how we're higher, a little bit higher than the parkway. That was what they did. They raised this whole thing. If you guys can see that cormorant out there, you see him out there? He's gonna go under in a second. There he goes. So they're cormorants. They fish. So all they do is fish all day, live on the water and eat fish all day. They can dive up to 60 feet down. They're pretty agile swimmers, well, divers. I'll tell you, it is quite nippy down here. There is a breeze hitting me right off of my my right shoulder. And it is cold. Maybe we'll see some whales. So they have been doing a lot of work on the bridge. The bridge has been getting a paint job for the better part of the last 6 months. It takes a long time to paint the bridge. The Staten Island Tower is, so you could see on the side closest to us, the right side is finished. You can see that's the nice pale blue that they always use. And then you can see kind of like that whitish, yellowish peach color. That's the primer, I would imagine. That's what the whole half of the bridge looked like until about last week. They did all the pale blue. And then the other half of it is still has to even, they haven't even done the primer. And then this side, they just started putting the, they're starting to frame it up to get ready to do the protection stuff so they could start working on this side. You got a ferry going to the Rockaways early. Doesn't look like a lot of people are on that ferry though. Usually you'll always see a bunch of people on the top deck, but not today. You can see some clouds are starting to form over here. And this has pretty much been the theme for the last few days. Like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday it rains. It was very raw. It was cold, rainy. The rain started to clear out by Friday afternoon, Friday evening. I actually did some photography Friday night. It was some nice storms that were passing during the sunset. Yesterday started out just like this. It was beautiful. It was clear. And then by 10 o'clock, it got cloudy, like just overcast. And then the sun came out in the afternoon, and then we had rain showers. So the forecast for today is not to be as cloudy as yesterday, but still a chance of rain. Now this we're gonna end the walk on the camera in a few moments, but I'm gonna keep going because I live right up on the bike path over at Bay Tree, which is gonna be the next exit after this one. So I'm just gonna continue on home. Probably get home in about 15-20 minutes after this. And looking at the timer on the walk, it's about 40 minutes. So we started at 6:45. So that means it's just before 7:30 a.m. That's when we're going to be in it. So pretty much from about 6:45 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. is the duration of this walk. What I'll do is I will keep the bridge in view like that. So this right here is the 4th Avenue entrance. Which has not changed since I was a baby. As a matter of fact, this right here, I have to find it, but there's some old footage. I'm saying old, like back when they just finished building this bike path back in the late 1920s, 1930s, and it looks exactly the same as what you're looking at now, with the only difference being the Denise Wharf out there under the bridge used to be there before they sadly knocked it down. But that's how long this bike path has been around. It's not new. And people, sometimes I get people down here and they think that this bike path has only been down here as long as the bridge, since the 60s, and I tell them, nope, it's been down here since 1930. I got a picture of me up on that ramp, that bike ramp going up. Me, my mom, and my sister during the bicentennial, 1976, when all the ships from all over the world were coming through here. It's in my living room. It's actually right behind me. Maybe I'll show it on the next time I go live, but and I'm standing here with my mom and my sister on that hill. And it's crazy because when you look at the picture, it's like it hasn't changed. The only thing they changed was they resurfaced it about 15 years ago. It's all concrete, but it used to be all asphalt. Now it's just concrete ramp. So this is it. I'm going to end it here. So I want to thank everybody for coming along and taking a walk. And this is where we're going to end it. I'll give you guys a look around. And that's it. So hope everyone has a great day, great rest of the weekend, and I will catch you all on the next one. So from the Verrazzano Bridge in Bay Ridge, take care and bye-bye.